Relationships 101. If you truly want to back your husband's professional ambitions, perhaps avoid pinching his employer's vehicle. Yes, Sarah Sugden from Emmerdale, that means you. After Cain Dingle received the devastating diagnosis of aggressive prostate cancer, Sarah became the only person he trusted with the truth, as he refused to confide in anyone else. However, that revelation was only the beginning of his troubles. Because of the cruel manipulation of deceased trafficker Celia Daniels, Cain could do nothing but watch as his wife, Moira, was taken into custody for crimes linked to her corrupt former associate. Moira now sits behind bars, potentially facing many years for murder and human trafficking, a situation that couldn't please Joe Tate more. The privileged heir of Home Farm has long been determined to purchase Butler's farm. He even went as far as arranging for Robert Sugden to hide falsified paperwork in Moira's home to frame her for Celia's offences. Since then, Joe has relentlessly pressured Cain to sell, sending his loyal enforcer and father figure, Graham Foster, to push the deal. Threats rarely work on Cain Dingle. So did he confront Joe face to face? Naturally not. Instead, he took Joe's car. Enter Sarah. Believing she had a clever solution, she decided a touch of Yorkshire Grand Theft Auto might ease Cain's money worries and distract him from his illness. Seizing the chance to irritate his rival, Cain stole Joe's DeLorean, a playful nod to Back to the Future, and concealed it in a barn. But Sarah soon discovered she enjoyed the thrill of car theft and the unexpected bonding time with her grandfather. Surely that couldn't end badly. Of course it could, and it does. Sarah's next target turns out to be the worst possible choice, her husband's employer. Jacob was stunned to discover that his new superior was none other than the intimidating Dr. Todd, whom he'd previously encountered during his trainee placement at Houghton General's A&E department. As with anyone starting out, Jacob made some errors, including breaching patient confidentiality and returning to work prematurely after his mother's death, which led to questionable judgment calls. Sadly for him, Dr. Todd isn't known for leniency. She appears determined to scrutinize his every move, seizing on the smallest mistake. Her comeback forms part of Emmerdale's new workplace bullying storyline, focusing on Jacob's mistreatment under her authority. The very last complication Jacob needs is his wife stealing Dr. Todd's car, which, inevitably, is exactly what unfolds. Although Cain has insisted Sarah stay away from further thefts, she panics at the thought that a potential TB outbreak could cost them the farm permanently. Desperate times call for quick cash. So when she notices a sleek sports car parked outside the village hall, temptation proves too strong. She is moments from driving away when Jacob catches her in the act, behind the wheel of his boss's flashy car, caught red-handed. Jacob is already on thin ice at work. Dr. Todd overhears him criticizing her to Eric Pollard during a heated venting session. Though humiliated, Jacob apologizes repeatedly, only for Todd to reveal she has chosen him for her mentorship scheme. For most trainee doctors, such an opportunity would be career-defining. For Jacob, it means enduring constant scrutiny from a superior who already has it in for him, and Sarah's reckless stunt certainly won't help matters. The question now is, how will Jacob handle it? Emmerdale favourite left red-faced after uncomfortable mistake. A brand new relationship was officially revealed in Emmerdale last night, but the happy moment quickly turned awkward when one half of the couple had to say sorry following a tense encounter. During Thursday's episode, Vinnie Dingle and Lewis Barton made their romance public, while chatting with Vinnie's mum, Mandy, at the Hop. The confirmation came just days after the pair shared a heated kiss, finally giving in to the undeniable spark between them. Mandy could barely contain her excitement, stage whispering enthusiastically, "You two? Together? Like properly together?" Vinnie quickly urged her to lower her voice, noticing that his former wife, Gabby Thomas, was close by, and not someone he wanted hearing the news second-hand. Still thrilled, Mandy beamed. It's just lovely to have something positive to celebrate for once. However, the cheerful mood didn't last long, as Gabby had already caught wind of the revelation. Her face said it all, clearly unimpressed, prompting Vinnie to approach her later in hopes of clearing the air calmly. "It's okay," Gabby assured him. "We're in the same village. It's inevitable we'll run into each other." Feeling awkward, Vinny admitted that perhaps he and Lewis shouldn't have been in there at that moment. Gabby quickly dismissed that idea, responding, "Vinny, honestly, I'm glad for you and Lewis," although her subdued expression suggested mixed emotions. She added gently, "You're a wonderful person. We shared some special memories. You deserve happiness." Viewers found themselves torn, pleased for Vinny and Lewis, yet sympathetic toward Gabby. One fan commented that it was heartbreaking how Gabby and Vinny had only recently been newlyweds, settling into a new house and planning renovations, even discussing Vinny adopting her son Thomas, only for him to seemingly move on so swiftly. Another viewer pointed out the irony of Mandy celebrating the new couple in front of Gabby, forgetting she had once been married to Vinny herself. Vinny and Gabby's relationship began in 2024, and at one point they had talked seriously about building a family together. Sadly, their love story wasn't destined to last, and they officially ended their marriage in October 2025. Their separation came just weeks after tying the knot, shocking many in the village. The breakdown largely stemmed from Gabby confessing that she had been unfaithful while visiting Portugal. At the time, Vinny was also grappling with uncertainty about his own sexuality, adding further strain to their already fragile marriage. Emmerdale viewers outraged as Arthur is branded just like his dad. Fans of Emmerdale have hit out at Arthur Thomas, with many claiming he's beginning to resemble his late father, Ashley, following shocking scenes in the latest episode. Arthur, portrayed by Alfie Clark, pushed his mother Laurel during a furious confrontation, causing her to fall backwards into the staircase in Monday night's installment of the ITV drama. Laurel, played by Charlotte Bellamy, had clashed with her son after he became angry about her interfering in matters concerning Bear Wolf. Bear had been grieving and reflecting on the death of drug dealer Ray, the man he ultimately killed. Viewers quickly drew parallels between Arthur's behaviour and that of his father Ashley, who in past storylines both physically and emotionally mistreated his own dad, Sandy, Arthur's grandfather. One fan commented that Arthur needs to lose the attitude, arguing that he's starting to mirror Ashley's abusive behaviour towards Sandy years ago. Another questioned why the character seems to have undergone such a drastic personality change. A different viewer expressed sympathy for Laurel, writing that Arthur has become disturbingly aggressive towards her. One particularly angry fan labelled Arthur a vile brat, suggesting Laurel might wish Ashley had never passed on his DNA, adding that perhaps Arthur's anger issues would have remained with Greg and Melanie instead. Another viewer suggested that perhaps it's time for former favourites Greg and Melanie to make a comeback and step in, potentially taking Arthur away after the way he's been behaving lately. They implied that his recent aggression might mean he needs firmer guidance elsewhere before things spiral even further. Meanwhile, a different frustrated fan went on a broader rant, arguing that several characters, Arthur included, should be written out altogether. They criticised Lewis and Vinny, took aim at Mandy for acting immature, and slammed Sarah for stealing cars while pregnant and showing little respect for her doctor husband. The commenter even added that with all the drama and tension at home, it's no wonder Jacob might dread walking through his own front door. Emmerdale continues to air on weekday evenings at 8 p.m. on ITV1 and is also available for streaming on ITVX.